All right, episode 36, December 15th, 2020. Marc still standing in place, and I wanted to share with you that I don't have a cure, but I might have learned of a protective measure that might protect you from the COVID-19. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I have to put a disclaimer that any information that I have concerning this virus could be completely inaccurate, because I really am not a good source of information. Well, maybe I am. I've got some different inputs, and from what I understand, this thing likes to incubate in your nose, in your nasal passages, before it goes on and spreads to the rest of you, and either does nothing to you, gives you a bit of a pain in the ass cold for a few days, or completely screws you up and sends you to the hospital. I had to go for a COVID test today, and this is the second time I've had one of these things, and this is the one where they take that swab and they stick it up your nose, which I'm not clear how they determine how far to go up your nose. I should have researched that. I wonder if there's maybe a mark on that stick where they hold it at a certain distance and know that if they go up into your nose to the point that their fingers touch the end of your nostril, that then has reached the correct distance into your nasal cavity. I wonder if that's the case. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be a good mechanism. The point being, that thing goes up way freaking further than you would ever expect it possible for an object to explore your nasal passage. The first one I got surprised the hell out of me and scared me a little bit. Went, oh Jesus, you're in my brain. Please stop that. This time, my experience was a little bit different. And they stuck the swab up, and they didn't quite go to the spot where it was uncomfortable. And I was a little surprised, and I was both like, hey man, this is cool, it's not as uncomfortable, as well as going, oh shit, if you don't get it in far enough, you're not going to get a real result, and you're not going to be able to tell me if I have this stupid thing or not. At that point, the nurse or medical assistant, I'm not quite sure what the level of training is for someone that's doing these swab tests, asked me, hey, do you have a deviated septum? And as I was responding, yeah, my nose has been broken a couple of, it slipped past. She did like a little wiggle. It slipped past and went up into the space where the first test that I had gone to. So I do know that it has to go in that far. But what I learned is that apparently a deviated septum at least slows down the swab. So is it completely unreasonable to think that a deviated septum might also protect you from spread of the virus? Might also protect you from a foreign invader entering your nasal passages and potentially infecting the rest of your body? Is that completely unreasonable? I'm not a medical professional. Therefore, I can say that it is perfectly reasonable. And because it's so reasonable, I propose that we should start a business where you break people's noses in order to protect them from COVID. If you have a deviated septum that's deviated far enough, perhaps, that will protect you from this virus entering your body. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's a terrible idea to offer to break people's noses to protect them. Is it better to have a broken nose or wear a fabric mask for a little while? Wow. I guess it depends who you are. But I think there's something to this. I think I learned something today when she couldn't quite get that swab to go up and make me teary-eyed and nose running. It's so absurd. Yeah, I gotta get COVID test. I did an activity that should be probably one of the safest things you could do. Physically distant. I was outside, running around the mountains, playing in the snow, climbing stuff, hiking, exploring. Outside. I stayed by myself. I had my own room. I wasn't around anybody. I didn't enter any places of well, enter like a food store, but that's not anything different than I would do normally. You know, wear a mask, do your thing. And there potentially was one little misstep. And I got to find out to make sure if I picked the stupid thing up or not. That would be shit luck if that happened, especially when there's people that are just completely ignoring everything you're supposed to be doing, and they're going to restaurants and sitting across from strangers, and they were going to bars and rallies and gatherings and God knows what, and they're all fine. If I end up picking this stupid thing up from probably not even a 2-hour window that I misstepped, damn it. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I'm not in risk group, right? I'm fairly healthy, especially being that I was running up and down mountains. And I was doing that in these mittens, which I thought I would share with you. We're going to find out if people are actually watching these videos go, why the hell is that guy talking with mittens on? There's no good reason. They were sitting here and I thought I'd put them on. I was wearing these mittens. This company, Wells Lamont, they should sponsor me. Because these things are freaking fantastic. I know they're just like normal lifty looking mittens, and these ones got kind of whooped because they got soaking wet, and I spent a lot of time cold and wet in the snow this past week. But the inside has like separated fingers. I don't think, ooh, you might be able to see. Yeah. The inside has separated fingers, so it's actually like a glove built into the mitten, but then it's sewn in really well, so like you could take your hand in and out, and it doesn't like bunch up and get screwed up. Which Wells Lamont, I went and got your fancier ones that are supposed to be a little bit warmer, and they've got like felt inside, fleece inside, and it does bunch up. Completely screwed me up. I was taking my hand in and out, and then I had to like fight to get my fingers to go back into the holes. But yeah, Wells Lamont mittens are fantastic, except for the wetting out and then the fancy ones not working as well thing. Which makes me question, what do you think the first hand covering was? Was the first hand covering to keep warm a mitten or a glove? How do you think that was done? How do you think... I don't know. I should have looked this one up. What is the history of the glove or the mitten? Where did it start? It's probably like Eskimo people, right? Inuits. Somebody in a very cold place using leather from an animal, probably fur too, making something warm to keep their hands from getting damaged. That's like a really small window, right? If you live in a place where it's cold enough that you need to protect your hands, I experienced it was -12 on Sunday when I went out. And it was so cold that like I lost function in my fingers. I couldn't unzip my jacket to get my keys out to get back in the truck and start it up, which was freaking scary. And that happened in like a couple minutes time. The mittens weren't cutting it yet. I let my hands get too cold. So I had, I don't know, a couple minutes, maybe not for permanent damage, but it felt like I had minutes to get my hands warmed up before something bad happened. If you live in a place where that's a risk, in minutes you don't develop and design the first hand covering ever created. That doesn't happen. You can't sew that fast. Nobody can sew fast enough. Go, oh no, I'm about to get frostbite, and then like rip an animal apart, tan the leather, sew it together in a shape that you can insert your hand and get your hand in there. There's no way that's happening that fast. Impossible. And I gotta believe it's much more complicated to make a glove than a mitten, right? Much simpler outline, unless it's a fancy mitten like that that's got finger holes inside too. So I'm going to put my vote in that a mitten was invented first. But I'm very intrigued now of how, what the time frame was that a person with cold hands went, oh crap, I got to make something to cover these. Or were they just sticking their hands in orifices? Like you put your hand between your thighs and hold it real tight, it'll warm up a bit. Armpits, I've done that. That was one of my bonding experiences with my now wife. She had cold feet one time. I stuck her feet in my armpits to warm them up. Because I'm a true gentleman. So is that what they used first? They put their feet in armpits? That was the first moccasin? First shoe? Hands in armpits? Did the first mitten resemble an armpit? Is that what they did? And they went, oh, that works really well. Let's remake that. Did they saw armpits off of live animals and wear them on their hands? I don't think so. I think that's ridiculous. Yeah, I fucked up and I didn't research because I got a little bit preoccupied mentally here with this potential COVID scare thing. So hopefully I'll find out tomorrow, and hopefully it's a nothing. I have not yet figured out how. This is the misstep. I don't know how to eat pork green chili with a face covering. I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know how to fold a tortilla. I can fold a tortilla with a mask. I cannot chew on it. I can chew on it. I cannot get it to my mouth to begin the chewing process without removing said face covering. So, we're going to find out. We'll find out if I got fucked. I hope not. It's been really good. The amount of people screwing up and the amount of times that I have avoided situations or done things in order to stay safe and do the right thing. It's going to be a real bummer if I did end up with this damn thing. So, sorry, a little bit introspective, a little bit, I guess a little bit worried. But trying to find a humor in it. So, the pork green chili was freaking fantastic. Yeah, and it wouldn't have worked with a mask. So, that's my time. Mittens, pork green chili, and COVID tests. Go break a nose, and you'll be safe. Don't do that. Probably just wear a mask. And we'll see you in a week. Next week will be 15th. Will be like the 22nd. And Christmas like 25th. I hope everybody's watching my JC videos. Willie Bill videos still go up every Thursday. But JCs are going up every day. 25 days of Christmas. Get on to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. That would be really cool. Christmas gift, like actually have 100 subscribers or something like that. Yeah, get on there. Enjoy those. And we'll keep making stuff. And we'll see you soon. Take care. Stay healthy. Be careful with your green chili. Don't break your nose or break your nose to save yourself from COVID. See you next week. Bye. I just want to put in here, I do have an update. I got my COVID results and I got a negative. So yay, I managed to avoid COVID one more time. But yeah, no COVID. Awesome. See you soon.